Hey guys, it's Chris here with Okanagan Peak Performance, and we're going to run through the core exercises for the No Running Half Marathon Training Program. So we've got all the templates done. There's a fly at my face. And you'll see on your templates it lists off 6 different groups of core exercises. And you don't have to do all 6, and there's 3 versions on each of them. So what it's meant to do is that if you don't have access to some of the equipment, you've got lots of options and alternatives there. I definitely want you to be doing the bridging exercises because that's just body weight. But even if for the Turkish get-ups, if you don't have a kettlebell, you can always do them with a dumbbell, you can do it with a barbell, you can do them with a Geordie. So lots of things work. All right. And we'll try and give you the rep ranges of what you need to do there. But in terms of which one you pick the version that you can do perfectly well. Don't go to the hardest version right out of the blocks here and be messing it up and creating poor movement patterns. Start with the easiest one, and then as you're doing that, you can always progress, and as the training gets harder, you can progress along with your core training. So if we show you the bridging exercises first, what we have is, the first one is a Cook hip lift. So, I'm just going to get down on the ground here, and this one's to get the glutes going with hopefully minimizing your hamstring involvement. So what you do is you'll flex one knee and bring the knee and the hip up. You don't need to reef on this leg, you just need to have it flexed. Bring the heel in. Make sure your hips stay square when you lift up. The head is relaxing down, and you'll push through that opposite heel, bridge up, hold 1, 2, 3, feather the hips down, and then you press back, pushing through that planted heel. Hold 1, 2, 3. So have a good 3-second count there at the top, and you'll do 10 reps like that. Now, from the Cook hip lift, the next one is a 2-leg hip extension. So if you're training at the track and there's some benches that you can pull together, like at the Apple Bowl, just rearrange the benches however you want. The city loves for us to do that, so I'm just kidding about that. You'll want to put your shoulders on one bench and your heels on another. And if you're doing it with a friend and you're this group of you, maybe half the group does the drill, the core exercise, and the other half sits on the bench. So they don't rock and move around. But your shoulders on one, your heels, and you can also do these at the gym if you're doing them after you run. But what you're going to do is maintain a neutral spine, sink your hips, and drive through your hips, through the heels to extend the hips up. And again, when you come up, hold for a contraction at the top, and then pivot through the hips to sink back down. Okay? Now the third version there, it goes to a single leg. So you'll keep one leg out of it. Now the key here again is don't let the unsupported side sink out. Keep the hips level. They sink down to the ground. Drive through that heel up. Hold 2, 3. Sink the hips, keeping them nice and level, and drive through. Hold 2, 3. All right, and you would do 10 on each leg on those in 2 sets. Now we're going to walk all the way down to the other end here, and we'll walk through the side bridge. So again, we said that there's 6 different core exercises. The bridging, these are the 2 must-dos. You have to have the bridging in there, and then you can pick from the rest based on what you have for equipment. Fill in. With this one, it's not for reps. You can start it with 20 seconds, and then we'll add time. You can build up 20, 30, and 40. And then eventually, you can progress to the other 2 versions that I'll show you in a second. But here, you want to have your heels, hips, shoulders, and head against the wall. Stack up, neutral spine, and then you hold the top leg. And you just hold position there for 20 seconds. Make sure that top leg, you're not kicking that up way too high. It's just a small little lift, okay?